All right. Hi, everybody. David Fogel back with you, CEO of the Symphonina Foundation, back with another Symphonina Foundation podcast. I'm laughing as we start here because I have my good friend, Steinway Artist Sophia Agranovich, back with us for the second time, which makes her officially a friend of the show. Sophia, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for invitation. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And we were just counting how many podcasts we've done at the Symphonina Foundation, and we could always have counted wrong. So, but it looks like this is podcast number 174. And I believe we started in November of 2024. I think that was right. So, gosh, or maybe it was 25. Let me double check that. 24. Yeah. November 1, 2024 with Lord Chan. And it's just been great to meet so many wonderful people and also meet my friends again, who I don't usually get a chance to catch up with. And we have a good excuse to catch up when we get on the podcast together. Right, Sophia?
Yes, that's exactly. And it's amazing how many shows you have. It's really amazing.
Well, as we get to the Grammy season, too, that's coming up, we try to do more. So we'll see if we can't end up doing, as we get into the thick of things, maybe even a show a day. But for right now, we did have to take a little bit of a pause as we were putting our own finishing touches on Symphonina Stories New Horizons, which had come out last Friday. So thank you for that little segue. It lets me sneak in that our new album is out, and I hope everybody not only enjoys it but loves it. Really, we made it for all of you. But today, Sophia, we're talking about your new album, A Reverie of the Soul, the piano works of Robert Schumann, and it's your 12th album, which is amazing in and of itself. 12 albums is a lot of albums, Sophia, and I have a feeling, as they say, you're just getting started, so... But let's talk about Schumann. Why did you pick this? Why did you pick Schumann, and why did you pick the choices that you did?
Actually, this is my 12th album since 2010 only. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm piling all these albums while I'm still can, and I push myself to the limit.
Yeah, almost one a year.
To the limit.
That's almost one a year. Amazing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I have already one Schumann album, which had Carnival and Fantasy on it.
Okay.
Which was very successful. I think it was 2015, 2016, something like that. And I usually record pieces that I perform because I perform a series of concerts and I tour every year and new program every year. So I try to record all the pieces that I perform. Of course, the recording goes always by memory because I like to be free with this. I think we did discuss that.
I remember we did. Yes, you're a big advocate for memorizing what you play and getting the most out of it that way for you and maybe for others too.
Especially virtuosic pieces and this romantic repertoire, it's hard to play. For me, it's hard to play with music and see those bars that you have to follow the bars. Anyway, so I had this program for 2 years. I played Schumann pieces separately, and then I decided, I have new pieces. I can create another album of Schumann, and so I did that. So this album has 19 tracks altogether. It has beautiful Sonata number 2 in G minor, which is the epitome of the romantic style. At the same time, it has a classical structure. It doesn't have that what Liszt Sonata, for example, has, that there are no movements at all. It has 4 movements.
Okay.
It's very, very tempestuous and emotional. At the same time, second movement is extremely dreamy and so hauntingly beautiful. I just evaporate. My soul just evaporates when I listen to it every time. It's like a prayer, communion with beloved one or God or whatever. It's very hard to describe in words, as usually music is.
Yeah.
Third movement is a scherzo, very joking. Scherzo is a joke, is in Italian.
Yeah, right.
And very mischievous, because Schumann had this mischievous side in him too. Like you can hear in all his pieces, like a little, even childish, boyish, mischievous trait of the character. So I really enjoyed the contrast between all the movements. And fourth movement is Tempest, is where it says presto possibile, like as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And prestissimo and quasi cadenza, and it should be improvisatory. It can't be too strict. Some medium sections which are very romantic should be a little bit more rubato, and it's very hard to perform and to get actually consensus between different interpretations. So I happen to have amazingly a lot of very good reviews on it, because it's hard to understand. Because when I play, I don't follow any, so to say, rules. I know very good, of course, theory and music history, and I love reading. But when I play, I'm just lost totally in the music.
Yeah.
So this is very beautiful sonata. That was a new one. I never played it before. Then I have symphonic etudes, which is a tremendous, very hard, monumental piece. It consists from theme and 13 variations. It's one of the most virtuosic pieces of Schumann and in music literature. And each variation is so contrasting, so beautiful, and the theme is hidden between the notes, and I just love to perform it. I performed it before, and I had another version of this recording, but now I hear it totally different, and I re-recorded it, and it was praised. That's very, very mature and very improvisatory, but I never lose sense of the structure, which was very complimentary. Then I have Little Arabesque, which is a beautiful, beautiful piece. When I played it when I was like 10 years old, and I thought, oh my God, this is so easy. I can just record it with my closed eyes. When I started playing it, I hear so many new nuances, so many new juxtapositions. That usually happens when we listen to a lot of music and try to go back to the pieces that we knew.
Right.
But I was amazed that such a simple piece holds so much emotion and thought. It's very, very beautiful and very repetitive. It's reminds me of lace, or very intricate patterns, like arabesque, the very intricate patterns. And the last variation is reminiscence. It's very slow, very dreamy, very simple. When I started playing it, I couldn't find the correct interpretation. I heard so much in it. Every time I played it differently, and I couldn't decide what I like the best. So during the recording, I usually have very few takes, like 2-3 takes.
Oh, okay.
This, I had like 5 takes, and I decided to do the last one. Because I finally found it. The easiest part of the whole recording. I did the most takes because of the depths of Schumann's music, which is so amazing. Anyway, I'm very, very happy about this recording. I enjoyed performing these pieces in concert. I performed Schumann's sonata in my European tour last year in 3 countries, and also in about 10 concerts here in US. Symphonic etudes I played a lot in the previous years, and papillons I played in my 2 years ago in my other European tour in other countries. So finally I combined all the pieces together, and I personally like this album because it evolves, and it has so many different patterns and structures, and it has different phases of Schumann's life, reflects different phases of Schumann's life and understanding and his philosophy. This is basically what I did, and it was released on April 3rd. It got very, very complimentary reviews, a lot of them in different publications. It was played on the radio, and this is my creation for this year.
I want to ask you. It's great. I want to ask you a couple of questions about Schumann. If I understand, Schumann didn't live that long. I think he died in his mid 40s or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you Do you know much about his life and his experiences and how they're reflected in his music?
Oh, Schumann is a very complicated character. To make
Yeah.
the very long story short, he was actually he wanted always to be a performing pianist, but his father insisted for him to be a lawyer. So if he finished law school, he's very
Okay.
intellectual, as everybody knows who plays Schumann. He's very, very intellectual. You have to have very good logic just to remember and understand what he's doing. Those multiple voices and changing of moods and everything. And he took lessons from Clara Schumann's father, piano
Okay.
lessons.
Okay.
And of course, he fell in love with Clara when she was just, I think, 15 or 16. And they had the father didn't want them to marry because Schumann was a musician. And it was, and this love inspired a lot of Schumann's works, actually almost all of them. So this actually benefited his
Yeah.
artistic
There you go.
endeavors.
And you get all the
Sometimes
moods
what we
too.
think-
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Sometimes what we think is bad for us, it's
Yeah.
actually beneficial
For everybody else. That's right. They get to enjoy
for
the
everybody
music.
else and for him in the long run.
Right.
And then he was. It turned out that he was bipolar. There's some contemplation that he was a bipolar. He was suffering from mental illness. Nobody knows how it happened, what happened, and he knew it. So he had these two personalities in him that he referred to: Floristan, which is tempestuous, fiery, romantic personality, and Eusebius, which is very dreamy and out of this world. Very, very, also very, very romantic. So all of us, a lot of people have different personalities, and we're aware of it. We're all subject to a lot of influences, and people are
Right.
very complicated. But Schumann was aware of it. He was aware of his mental illness. He actually called his sides of the character by name, Floristan and Eusebius, and he was fighting this illness in the second half of his life a lot. And Clara was an amazing woman. Everybody knows that she was a composer, and she helped him to compose, and she had 6 kids with him, and she had a very good career. She was admired even by Liszt. For that time, for a woman, this was, I still don't understand how she did everything. She's
Yeah.
like one of my heroes. So, and Clara was with him. She was helping him. She was, I think she was like a mother figure also in a way, although she was so much younger. So Schumann ended up in asylum. Actually, I think he actually went there and said, I have to go. And he died there. He died early. Clara never remarried. And Brahms, there was a famous triangle: Clara, Brahms, and Schumann. And Brahms was always in love with Clara, but nothing happened after Schumann's death. So that's basically very sad
Yeah,
part of
that
his
is.
life. And it's amazing how much output, how many pieces and how many beautiful compositions he did in that short lifespan, considering he didn't have computers or anything to help to
Exactly.
write.
Exactly. Now, do I
Just
have it?
everything by hand. It's amazing.
Yeah. Do I have the dates pretty much right? Early 1800s, probably the same as Mendelssohn, who also didn't live very long, right? And
Yes.
and
Yes.
Liszt, who lived a longer time, but they all
Yeah,
overlap.
Liszt
Yeah.
lived to a very long age, long ripe age, especially for that time. And Liszt, at the end of his life, totally changed his character. He became so religious, and his compositions became austere, and they're looking towards the 20th century, complete opposite to this virtuosic fire that he had before.
Interesting. Yeah.
So we don't know what would happen to Schumann or Chopin or Schubert if they lived to old age. Maybe
Or
they would
Mendelssohn.
become
Yes. Right.
opposite. Or Mendelssohn. Yeah, there's so many musicians who died young. Or Mozart. Because they all, maybe they would become the opposite of themselves. We don't know.
That's right. Life is uncertain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have I mean, this is an unfair question because you probably find a favorite in everything that you're doing in the moment, but do you have a favorite
Exactly.
between them, or is it just whatever is inspiring you at that time?
While I was doing Schumann,
Yeah, I mean, between Schumann, Mendelssohn that you've done, Liszt that you've done, we've talked about before. Do you have
Yeah,
things that you come back to
Beethoven's.
that you perform for yourself when no one's listening? That you like, that's the one I like the most?
Yeah, yeah, and also I did Beethoven and Scriabin and Rachmaninoff. I did a lot of repertoire and I did some modern composers. Prokofiev I love. And,
Yeah.
it's whatever I play. I cannot play something that I don't really love. I just can't move my fingers. My fingers are not moved by my mind. Sometimes they do, but then the music doesn't sound too good. It
Okay.
has to come. It's something like a wave comes over me, almost like I feel it like an energy. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what it is. Maybe I create it on my own,
Yeah,
if
for sure.
logical explanation, but I have to be moved. So I was very much into Schumann, and I love this. Now I'm changing a little bit. I don't know where I'm going now because now I have to do some new programs for the next season,
Yep.
and I'm researching some other pieces. But to answer your questions, whatever I play, whatever I record at that time, I absolutely love. And I think this is the best thing in the world that can be. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
can't perform.
Yeah, yeah. When you're recording, do you have a setup that you go back to, like the piano in the studio that you always go back to, or do you change it around and mix things
I
up and
record, yeah, I record in different studios, and
hmm
according to the piece, they arrange the microphones.
Yep.
I prefer Steinway piano, but some of the pieces I actually recorded on Yamaha, which was very good.
Okay.
And I think it's not so much the piano as the touch and expression, because by touch and expression you can change voice to a degree from any instrument. Yeah, I used to play on some concerts, for assisted livings for elderly. I played benefit concerts like in hospitals on upright pianos, which
Sure.
sometimes weren't even tuned properly. And I had to play Chopin. Was be terrible because Chopin is so sensitive for every nuance. And I like by sheer willpower or whatever, I just like did it, and it didn't sound like it was on a 9-foot concert grand, but it sounded decent, and people were amazed how I could get the sound from that old
Yeah.
instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an art, I enjoy it,
For
but
for
it
sure.
depends on a piece, depends who records it and when it's getting recorded.
Well, one of those things that I do mention from time to time is that piano players, unlike, let's say, a violinist or a saxophonist or another person who has their own instrument, doesn't have their own instrument when they go to record. So every time they go to record in a studio, typically, unless they're recording at home, they have to adjust to the piano that they have in that setting, and it can be quite a bit different. And you have to be able to figure out how to get the most out of that piano at that time, whether it's in recording or in a hospital, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and with recording for me it's even worse because if I have a concert, I usually try the piano a little bit a day before or even on the same day.
Hmm.
Try for half an hour just to get adjusted how pedal works, how cantilena, singing tone
Yep.
works, all the voicing. When you record, you have set time in the studio.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's just like you
Yep.
have to do it.
Yeah. Well, we're done
Yeah,
now. That was it. So yeah, I know.
yeah, I find it very, very challenging. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I do have like 2 or sometimes 3 takes. It's not because of the technique or miss notes. It's because I say, oh, this didn't sound the way I wanted to sound.
And when you're doing multiple takes, most people do compositions. They'll do part of take one with take three with take two with whatever, and make the best comp, as we say. Do you tend not to do that then? The way I'm listening to you, you kind of just take a whole take and it is what it is, or do you go ahead
Um,
and comp
it
your
it
takes?
it really depends. Actually, I do my own editing.
Uh huh.
I mean, I tell the engineer what I want exactly,
Hmm.
my input, because I had an experience. Somebody else, they did it for me, and it sounded too mechanical. I didn't like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it might not be that page. It's not set. It's whatever sounded better.
Okay. All right. No, that's fine. That's good. And the fact that you can do what you want in three takes, I think, is great because most of my experience, whether it's me personally or listening to other elite players do it, they don't usually do it in three takes. My experience, you know.
How many takes they do?
Oh, let's just say greater than three. But
Yeah, I heard.
sometimes I will give. I recently had an opportunity to I help Ed Basel, our friend piano player, with an album that he's going to have coming out soon. And we'll have Ed on the show too at some point, which is a piano orchestra album, orchestral arrangements of his work, where I arranged some and Kit Wakely arranged one, and on staff music, that's Brad Ritchie and Jordan Cox and their crew, arranged some others, and the London Philharmonic, conducted by Mike Repper. I would say sometimes 3 takes, we were good for a piece. But oftentimes, some little pieces of things need to be recorded again, or you want to hear that you have options for how something might come out, or just there's some random room noise that happens that you just have to nah, that wasn't good. Let's start again, so.
Yep, with orchestra it's different because you don't worry about, you don't have to worry about all the instruments also, how they sound.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like the soloist is not too much in control of the whole thing. That's a different.
It's the illusion of control, right? I mean, you're the soloist, but really you're not in control.
Yeah, I heard when I just started recording a long time ago, I was asking my recording engineer how many takes. He said, "Oh, some people take very few takes, about 12." I said, what? I would never. You see, it's physically impossible because I'm so emotional. I would be dead after this.
I was going to say the way you approach it is a little different too. So I think it'd be interesting if we could do off the record. I don't think that's something most artists would probably want to go on the record and talk about, actually. But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it is what it is. I will just say, for me, there have been times when I've recorded things in a few takes, I'd say a handful. And there's other things, especially things I've done on the saxophone, where it's been north of 20. So you just go till you get what you want, but yeah.
It depends on a piece. Like if I just learned the piece and I don't know it very securely, it might take 20 takes. But when I record, I usually try to be very, very secure, and I perform the pieces a lot in a concert, so
exactly.
they're part of me already.
You know it, yeah.
So the takes are usually not because of technique, it's because of I don't like that expression that much, that stuff.
Exactly.
Sometimes, of course, I do have missed notes. I'm not
All of
I'm
us
not
do.
A machine.
I'm
not a machine.
Well, yeah, like I say to many of my friends, however, Sophia, I could practice 10 hours a day for 10 years. I'd never be as good as you are. So it's just a delight to listen to you and others of your talent, and I feel very privileged to be able to do that. It's just great that you share your talents with all of us.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, but it's a lot of work. It's talent, but it's 90% of work, as we know, right? I work very hard, and So, but thank you so much.
Well, before we go, I want to thank you one other thing too, which is that you contributed on our Symphonina number 3. Movement 3, which is the 4 Days in the Life of the Princess, which we released last year.
Yeah.
And Movement 3, the Minuet, is my favorite movement, and you played it just brilliantly. Love it. And we're greatly hoping to have you play on Symphonina number 7, which I'm going to start in production probably this week or next week, and hopefully have the orchestral background for you to listen to. So I greatly appreciate you sharing your interest in wanting to play my Symphonina number 7, and I can't wait to hear how you do it.
Oh, that is a beautiful. I listened to it, and it's like a piano concerto in a romantic style, and it's very deep music. It's I was mesmerized by it. I'm really looking forward to learning it and recording. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I wrote it in memory and dedication to my best friend, who I lost when we were both 24. There's a long and sad story there, but it is, like you just said, it's reflected in the music, and I'm sure it'll come out just the way it's supposed to. So thank you so much. Sophia, people want to get in touch with you. What's the best way to do that?
Oh, I'm all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can go on my website, you can search just Sophia Agranovich, my website will come up, sophiaagranovich.com, and on the bottom of each page you would have all the links, including YouTube, Wikipedia, Spotify, everything.
It's all there, folks.
Yeah, it's all there on my website on the bottom.
Yep.
At the bottom.
Sophia, we're going to listen to some more of your fantastic playing on the way out, A Reverie of the Soul, piano works by Robert Schumann. And if there is anything we can do at the Symphonina Foundation to be of help to you at any time, you just let us know.
Thank you very much. Again, thank you very much for invitation, and I appreciate being on your show so much. And also, I appreciate what Symphonina Foundation is doing for music for the young audiences. It's very important to preserve the culture and classical music in our lifetime.